Is up, everybody, and welcome back to Zachary Reality. This is your host, Zachary Reality, and we have straight guys here on the channel today. I always do this to my brother when I record with him too. I just emphasize that he's straight just to piss him off. But we have Billy and Brian here from the Reality Guys YouTube channel, and we're going to be chatting about the Golden Bachelor today and House of Villains. I just did a video on their page. We recapped Bachelor in Paradise, so go check that out if you haven't. But now we're here on my channel. So how are you guys doing today? Happy Friday.
Zach, happy Friday, brother. Thank you for having us. And hello to everyone. We're looking forward to seeing a new audience and meeting some new people and giving our straight guy opinions.
Yeah.
Happy Friday. Glad to be here.
Yeah. So with the Golden Bachelor, let's get right into this show. I love seeing old people find love. And as the competition gets a little bit deeper and deeper, there's only 6 people left. So I'm really invested to see what's going to happen. Billy, why don't you start first? Do you have like an early front runner or someone that you think definitely needs to at least make hometowns?
Yeah, we did a recap on our channel, and Brian, I kind of tried to speculate at the end where we thought like our power rankings lied. So I mean, I think they've really set Teresa up to be a main character. They've gone through the Kathy drama. She had a lot of dates. Faith, I think, is up there. I think Faith is just cool. She's a radio host. She plays music. She has a lot of interest. And a new real favorite for us has really been rising up, at least myself, has been Sandra. I mean, Sandra skipped her own daughter's wedding.
Come on,
Sandra is the one who loves to curse. She's been super funny, and she reminds me the most of like a cool, sassy like grandma. And like you said, I would love to find that type of lady to find love. So that's kind of where like my top 3 lies right now.
Okay. Brian, what about you? Well, what do you think about Sandra skipping her daughter's wedding? Would you do that?
Oh, I definitely would not do that.
Yeah.
But
Maybe it was her second wedding.
That's what I was thinking.
That's what we were thinking. We also were thinking that they were going to go the old route where when he was like, "Hey," I thought he was going to say, we're going to go fly to the wedding." Instead, they do the little lazy FaceTime call. But in the old days, they would jet set all over the place. So I was half expecting that. But yeah, she should have left. Got to be a good mom.
I mean, like Joan. I mean, Joan puts her kids
Yeah.
first. Clearly, Sandra doesn't. I don't know. But hometowns could be interesting if Sandra makes it there, because we are 1 week away from hometowns. Like, I can't believe there's 6 ladies left. But to get to this point, there was a little bit of drama throughout the season, mainly between Kathy and Teresa. And I want to hear your guys' takes on this, because I just felt like Kathy was so funny to watch, but she kind of bullied Teresa at the end and it became too far. So, Brian, do you think Kathy was ultimately jealous of Teresa, or do you think that she just wanted to have that like mean girl mentality?
I think she was jealous because we kept saying, like, I think the reason that was Teresa a little naive, like talking about it so much. Yeah, but they probably just in their age range, they just want to talk to people about what's going on. They're happy to find a connection with somebody. So she's just happy with what's going on and wants to share it with people. And unfortunately, everyone else is there is vying for the same guy. So Kathy took it a little too personally. I think she was a little out of line. I'm definitely team Teresa in this situation, 100%.
What about you, Billy? Do you think that too?
Yeah, I think what Kathy is doing a much lighter version of like what I refer to as white knighting on The Bachelor. And that's when a contestant decides it's up to them to go eradicate another contestant or to protect the feelings of the Bachelor or Bachelorette. Once you take your eyes off the ball and you're putting more energy into like another contestant and not into trying to actually like win and trying to be nice and win and like go be worried about Jerry, that's when you're done, right? And I think that's really was Kathy's fatal flaw. And even when Jerry gave her the chance to kind of explain herself, she was more spending time talking about what Teresa did wrong other than like how she was feeling. So I do think that she probably was jealous, and I just think she might have just like overplayed her hand just a little bit. But look, I was here for drama. It was nice to have some kind of drama here on the Golden Bachelor without it being, defaming each other's names or calling each other really crappy things.
It was a little bit of a petty argument. I loved when she was like, zip it. She took it too far, because I think she knew her days were numbered. And she even admitted, Kathy, she's like, Teresa has a strong connection with Gary. Like she could be the one. And I do think she'll make top 3. So who knows what's going to happen. But like, I think she was a little threatened and jealous, and she kind of had her mean girl clique, but they weren't that mean. They were so fun too. Susan, Nancy, April, who just went home as well. So I mean, who are you guys gonna miss? Anyone?
think we were a little sad when Edith left, but
Yeah,
Okay.
we were Edith guys. We really liked
Gotcha.
Edith.
Joan too. Like we wanted good things to happen to Joan,
Joan.
and like she had to leave unfortunately. And I know like some people on the internet are like she should be the next Golden Bachelorette, but I would be down with that. But I think those are the two
For
people
sure.
that we probably were most sad to leave.
Well, justice for
Joan for sure.
Patty, Matt James's mom.
But she got like no screen time.
She deserved better.
Probably.
Yeah, I mean, I guess as far as like who we lost, we had Kathy, April, and Nancy. Nancy, they kind of had that classic Bachelor conversation of, hey, our connection's not on the level of some of the other connections, right? Really smooth. It was a blink if you missed it conversation too. It really, there was no commercial break in, but there's usually commercial break in between one of those conversations. They did it all in about 5 minutes, and she was out. She was packed and gone. And I think they've done it right this season, though. They haven't over invested us in people who are going to be going home too much, other than I think Joan, because again, she left for the right reasons. And I really don't think this season really has missed too much. It reminds me of old Bachelor seasons 1 through like 10. It really is just about dating someone.
What do you guys think of Susan?
She's funny.
Is she not iconic? Like she needs her own spinoff.
She really shined in that game. That's what I like laughing about that.
Susan needs a show that's not like on ABC. She needs to be able to be a little more M-rated.
Oh
Needs to be
my
able to say
God.
a little bit more things. And this is a very wholesome show, a very wholesome time slot on national TV. If she could get on like Bravo, I think she would flourish, right? And I totally agree. There's a lot of right there under the surface. Like they should do a wedding planning show with her or something, or her marrying people and going to crazy weddings.
Yeah, she's a
like
wedding
that.
officiant.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's good. She'll have a good hometown. Hopefully she'll make it there. But I think my top 3 prediction is Teresa, Faith, and Leslie. That's what I think. What do you guys think? And what do you think's gonna happen in the fantasy suites?
Early bedtimes.
Okay.
I like everybody.
No, I think there's gonna be some love, dude. We just like Gary is a kisser.
He's a makeout bandit. He's
got game.
Kissing a lot of them. Yeah, he does.
What's gonna happen that makes him like that upset? We see that in the trailer, right? Yes. I love Zach. What do you think? Like, is that somebody leaving or like not saying I love? What do you think?
Yeah, there's always one breakdown in every Bachelor season. It's usually at the top 3 during the fantasy suite week. So I think it's going to be some type of disagreement about fantasy suites or someone leaving, breaking up with him. That's just going to push him to that point. I hope he's okay. And then he doesn't have like a heart attack. Like I hope the producers are going easy on these guys because the show gets so intense. Like we've seen some crazy breakdowns and meltdowns. Colton jumped a fence. Like we have seen like a lot on this show. So I hope that it's nothing too bad that he won't be able to recover. And my hope that is he does get engaged at the end. And I hope that it actually works out. And it could be Ellen too.
Yeah.
It's always on a staircase.
It's
always the staircase. At least he's not laying and wailing on the staircase. But yeah, I think if anyone watching can't admit this to themselves, like they're lying. It's like we all want to know how fantasy suites. As soon as they announced Golden Bachelor, it's like that's where everyone's head went. They're like, are we gonna see like these old like some grandparents like hook it up and stuff? Like, how is this gonna get juggled? Is he gonna tell multiple women I love you? Is he gonna pull like a Clayton, right? Like, what is gonna happen here? And I'm curious if he's going to fall victim to that trope, or if he can like kind of like break the chain here and not tell multiple women I love you. I really think that's where the whole franchise started to fall apart, is when that happened, because that's when it started to become like a game to people and less of a genuine, I think, dating experience. That in my head is like where we talk about plenty of shows like where they go wrong, where does Survivor go wrong, where have other things gone wrong. And I think that's where Bachelor went wrong. So I'm hoping that Jerry doesn't tell multiple women he loves them. That's my one hope for the whole fantasy suite and end of the show type thing.
Yeah, I want happiness for sure, more than ever on any of these Bachelor franchise shows. This one, hope it ends very well.
And if someone does get heartbroken at the end, I can foresee them doing a Golden Bachelorette season with one of them in the future. I like that it's an hour. It's easy, but it's going to be a very heartbreaking at the end. But I think the hometowns are going to be so much fun when you get to meet the parents. The kids. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how the season plays out. it's going to be opposites. So I know you guys have your own YouTube channel. So tell my listeners, my watchers, like, what are your favorite shows to cover, and what kind of breakdowns do you guys do over there?
Right, go ahead.
We do probably way too much, but so we do like you said, we cover all Bachelor Nation. So Bachelorette, Bachelor Paradise, Bachelor, Golden Bachelor. We do CBS Wednesdays, which is Survivor, Amazing Race. We do Love is Blind. We do a lot of Netflix shows. We even do like some of the weird one-offs that like you would never, like a lot of dub shows that turn out doing really well, that because I guess we're the only people covering it. I do a lot of Love and Hip Hop. We do Love Island. What am I
Vanderpump
missing?
Rules is
Vanderpump
probably our
Rules.
most watched coverage. I pat myself on the back. I got Brian into Vanderpump Rules
I
last
love it.
year
We're gonna do
during
Summer House, Winter
Scandival, and
House.
Brian watched all 9 seasons to catch
Like
up, and
3
we were
weeks.
able to start covering the season about midway through. I like Below Deck. We cover all that type of stuff. Things like Temptation Island, F-Boy Island. We've done a lot of not a lot, but we've done a good amount of cast interviews, a lot more like obscure ones. We've had like Mark Wahlberg from, like I said, from Temptation Island. So really, we'll cover anything and everything and give it a shot. Really, the only things we're not Love Island, really big. Brian does a 60-second review on TikTok of everything, but we've started to do YouTube reviews of every episode. That's really been fun. So yeah, man, really like anything and everything reality TV, and we just try to give a fair and honest and spoiler free. We don't look into anything kind of perspective on anything, man. And looking to keep doing this type of stuff and meeting more people like yourself. So this is awesome.
And Brian, how do you guys know each other? Are you guys just like friends? Like, where do you guys live?
We both went to the University of Delaware. And we
Okay.
weren't like, I wouldn't say we were friends. Like we were acquaintances. Like we would go to the parties together. We saw each other a lot. We would, anytime you saw each other, you'd say, hey, what's up? And then like we started doing there's like a guy I used to work with. He started like a pop culture podcast, and I would help out there. And then Bill joined on, and Bill has a very distinctive voice. And I heard him one day. I was like, I think I know that's Bill. Like I know that guy. And then ever since then, we're both hard workers. We work really hard, and like we're dedicated to what we do. And we clicked right away doing like just the pop culture stuff. And then we moved over to the stuff we actually really like, which is reality TV. And then here we are now.
Do you guys have girlfriends?
I'm married, and I have two 18-month-old twin girls.
Oh, that's amazing.
I'm fully off the market.
No, I'm just
I'm married too.
Okay. Oh no, I'm just wondering like what your girlfriend, like what your wives think about you guys watching so much reality TV. Do they like it too? Like, is it like that's what I'm curious about.
She watches some shows with me, but ever since we had kids, it's kind of changed. Like she used to like watch a lot of shows with me, but now it's like not a lot because of obviously caring for children. It changes the game. So I just stay up late, and that's how I binge all of these shows and do a lot of it solo.
I'm laughing because I think back to like this whole genesis of the channel, and the whole kind of genesis of the reality guys, like we said on the old podcast, was on the YouTube channel. I said, hey, like there's got to be other guys like myself and Brian who like straight guys, husbands, boyfriends who are either getting forced to watch it, or more so like Brian and myself love it, and like we're just not really afraid to like bring it up. Or there's people who it's like their guilty pleasure, but they don't talk about it a lot. I laugh about it for my wife because my wife definitely likes reality TV, but I feel in a way I always like ruin reality TV for my wife because frankly, like Brian said, when we get onto something, we really do. And so we watch every episode, we go backlog. It's always on the TV. And so in a way, I feel like I've almost made her sick of it. But Emily will watch the good stuff. She's not really into like the competition stuff as much. She won't really want to watch like Survivor, Amazing Race, the Challenge. Not really into that, but a Love is Blind, a Love Island. I can get her to sit down and enjoy it. So yeah, I can speak for both of us. Our wives have been very supportive in the endeavor because it may not seem like a lot, but trust me, we put a lot of hours in, and we both work full-time jobs and all. And so we make it work. Zach, I mean, you get the grind. We see all your content. So I think you definitely understand.
Making content is addicting, isn't it? And watching reality TV is addicting. You just can't stop. But I love that. That's awesome. So let's get into a little House of Villains. I was so excited when I first heard about this show because I love competition and I love villains. So this was just right up my alley. So what was your first thought on the show? And then who are your top 3 winner picks as of now? So, Brian, why don't you go first?
So when we first saw this show, we were very excited because it pulls pretty much from everything that we cover, whether it's both of us or me or Bill. The people that I really like, we love Jax Taylor. I know he's a villain. He's not a nice guy, but he is great TV. He makes a fool of himself all the time. I picked him as a winner. I don't think he's actually going to win, but I just want him around as long as possible because I think he creates content by just breathing.
Mhm.
I love Bobby
Valid.
Lights. Bobby Lights is awesome. I love him in Love of Hip Hop. He actually, I think he's getting a lot. He's a little more like now that he's not like a main guy. I think he actually does better on this show. I think it's like, especially last night, I thought he was really funny. Um, I know people want to say Johnny Bananas, but like I feel like everybody loves Johnny Bananas. But I think yeah, those are probably my 2, maybe 3. I like Johnny Fairplay. Like he's an
Me
OG.
too. Yeah.
Such a Survivor fan.
Okay, what about you,
I like
Billy?
everybody honestly. There's nobody I dislike on the show.
No, I agree with
I
Brian's
love the
sentiment.
cast.
I saw the cast list. I sent this to Brian, and instantly for myself, it was New York. I love old VH1 reality, whether it's like The Rock of Love, I Love New York, all that,
Mhm.
Flavor of Love, all that crap. Uh, Thought she was going to be wonderful and frankly like ahead of her time, and I'm really glad now that this show is going to probably bring her back into like the reality TV rotation. I feel like we're going to see her on like The Traders next. I feel like she will be around, which I think is really
Yes.
deserving. She's great. She was on Watch What Happens Live this
Yeah.
week. She was great on
Mhm.
that. I like Johnny Fairplay. I'm a big old Survivor
Me
guy,
too.
and I thought he's the perfect type of guy who will embrace what this show is supposed to be. And obviously, we'll get to see that when we talk about this episode, and his actions with Jax thought was laugh out loud funny.
Mhm.
I also really wanted to see Omarosa. I just think Omarosa is someone who really loves herself some Omarosa. She always has, takes
Mhm.
herself way too seriously, which is perfect for a game like this, where like at the end of the day, it's just 10 of you fighting for like 250 grand. Like at the end of the day, you're all
Mhm.
supposed to have more money than this. Outside of, I feel like you would say maybe like the 90-day fiance, right? Or whatever like that, or
And
married at first
Fisa.
sight. Like that makes sense, right? Like you probably don't, or Shake in
Mhm.
Florida, like a vet probably making that much money. That's like, so I would, like I said, definitely New York and Johnny Fairplay. And of course, like I said, I'm a huge Vanderpump guy. So seeing Jax, I had no illusion that he would do well on this show. But just seeing 1 week in, he's already losing his crap on Shake because he just can't help himself is perfect for a show like this.
Yeah, the cast is stacked beyond stacked, and there's a lot of good strategists. So I'm super invested to see what happens. I feel like it's pretty obvious who goes home first, but I won't say it because you guys are going to be devastated. So let's get
I
into
agree.
a little bit of drama between Jax and Shake because this feud kind of started off with Jax is kind of he's oversharing a little bit. He's sharing how much money he's made on certain brand deals and sponsorships. It could come across a little braggy. But then on the other side, he's also saying that he has a kid and he's a family man. And I do believe Jax has grown so much from his old ways.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like he wants to play that card as well. He's being very open. I feel like he's exposing himself too soon because like he said, he didn't watch the shows before. And I think that Shake is just calling him out and calling him on his shit and keeping it 100. So I am team Shake on this. And I will, as you guys seem to be Jax Sands, I'm wondering what your rebuttal would be.
I mean, I think this is the only person that Shake can manipulate that's on the show because Jax is a dope. We say it all the time. Like we like him, but he's a dope.
Okay.
And uh yeah, he doesn't know when to shut up. He takes every situation, he does it the wrong way, picks the worst person in when we get there, the redemption challenge. He just like you said, if you're gonna go on these shows, you made a great point. You need to watch what you need to do the research, even if it's minimal. Like you need to learn, especially on this show. It's not like you're going randomly. We're gonna like, hey, I learn about like Survivor, or, like Amazing Race. Like these people are iconic for a reason, and they got where they are for a reason. So you need to do a little bit of research at least to survive.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Jax is dope. Jax is a dope. Like there isn't really any way to defend him. He overplayed in the physical challenges. He tried really hard. He talks way too much about himself. And again, when there's 10 people, the loudest person. And also, let's all talk about a lifestyle choice here. this dude needs to go see a doctor about his sleep apnea. That's really what started this whole thing. I think they wouldn't have cared as much about the challenge, but he's keeping everybody awake. And like, this guy is just a liability to have around. Like, I'm not going to be able to sleep.
Well, so is
It's a
Bobby.
big trigger.
Bobby's keeping everyone awake too, going into people's rooms, screaming, coming after New York and Corinne. You know, it was very interesting to kind of see that dynamic as well, because New York and Corinne became very close friends immediately. They were roommates. When Corinne was feeling left out and targeted by Omarosa, Tiffany was the one that had her back. And then when the roles were switched and Bobby interrupted their sleep, which was, you know, drunk funny, but also kind of rude. You know, Tiffany was rightfully upset, and Corinne was just like, whatever, like, let's not, you know, let's get over it, which I understand. Corinne didn't care, but it affected Tiffany's sleep schedule, and Corinne didn't have her back. So what do you guys think about that situation? Is Tiffany too loyal to Corinne?
I doubt that Tiffany will stay that loyal to her, especially after this week. Corinne needed to also subscribe to the Jax piece of advice and just stay low, don't talk. You already bothered Omarosa week 1. Now, like, Tiffany is like the one person who is actually going to have your back and really could keep you in there. If she's upset, you just shouldn't speak unless you're yelling at the other person, right? And that's just her mistake again. And I doubt she sat and watched the shows.
That's how Bobby Lights got out of, like, from under the fire, because he apologized and then she took all the direction to Corinne.
So Tiffany is playing a good game then.
I think so. I mean, I think if she had stayed on that Corinne Island for another week or two, she would alienate Omarosa, and people are afraid of Omarosa right now. Omarosa is really honestly put that power position, even in the challenge. She's like, I'm just not moving. It's like no one else was able to get away with that. And I think she's just done a very good job of cultivating. I think she'll have like loyalty with Shake. She'll have now like loyalty. I think Tiffany will come back. Maybe you even get a Corinne to be kind of like a third little member of that. And also she's friends with Johnny Fairplay. So I mean, that's like a Johnny Fairplay and Omarosa twosome dynamic is it's dangerous. Like,
I think it's gonna go all the way. That's my prediction. I think that the two of them I think one of the two of them has a really good shot at winning. I think there's some easy targets to kind of get out. I think Jax is really up for the block. I don't think Corinne's going to go too far, and I don't think Shake is going to go too far either. I think Anfisa is one to watch because she's smart. If you've watched her on 90 Day Fiance, she's so manipulative, and if she plays the long game and kind of plays under the radar throughout the whole competition, like, you don't know what will happen at the end if she strikes. And I'm interested in her story, and I think Johnny Bananas will make it pretty far as well. But Tanisha too, I really like her. So Brian, what are your thoughts on Tanisha and how she's gonna make her waves in the house?
So I'm not, like, she's probably one of the few that I'm not that familiar with, but from what I've seen on the show so far, I like her. I guess it all depends on who she aligns with, but I think, like you said, like, the people that are weak targets, like that time frame where those people are still getting picked off, you can build the alliances. And if she picks her alliance correctly, I think she could also go far. Like, there's going to be some weird shakeup probably in like the 5th or 6th episode. That's probably going to knock. Maybe we'll lose somebody big. That's just a prediction. I don't think that's actually. We don't know if that's going to happen, but just you got to get your alliance lined up, and I think that she has the ability to.
I think Tanisha, sitting here like talking to you guys and thinking about it, is really in a perfect position. It doesn't look like she is the lead of the alliance, right? So she's not the one vocalizing political moves. And this happens in a lot of reality shows like this. They're not going to look at her as a physical threat, right? So they are going to let her hang around thinking like, whatever, we'll never lose an actual physical challenge to her. And if she goes along and is a number for me, if you're an Omarosa or a Johnny, but that's the type of person where you said you get to that number where there's like 5 or 6 left. Those are the type of people that line up and then knock out the head person, right? So unless you're really going to play the game super actively, like, I think that's maybe the difference between like a Johnny Fairplay and an Omarosa in that dynamic, is I think Omarosa is just going to try to mostly will it and just kind of enforce it. Johnny may play a little bit, right? Johnny will throw a challenge. Johnny will, like, on a 1-week basis, betray his alliance because screw it. Like, I know it's not going to work out for me and I'll figure out a new thing next week. So it's just really cool. Like, the only thing is, like you said, they got to eliminate somebody. We need to see where this is going. The only way they do that, they got to eliminate somebody.
Yeah. But Johnny was smart because I felt like he kind of threw the challenge for Jack. So he he is willing to lie and cheat. I mean, this is the guy who lied about his dead grandmother. So I think Johnny's going to pull all the stops. So he definitely
Yeah.
is one to watch. And Omarosa is, you know, I can almost see her like playing a game like Suri did on Traders, where it's
Yes.
kind of like flawless and she kind of does remain in control the whole time. And I can kind of see that for her, but I can also see her getting like second or third. I just don't know how it's going to end. So do you guys think that the show is going to end with like everyone voting for the winner? Like who's left in that, whoever's eliminated, or is there going to be like a competition? Like how do you think the winner will be crowned?
Like kind of like a jury style
Yeah.
at the end. I actually would like that if like all the people that get eliminated are kind of sequestered and then they come back and they have to like vote on who's left. I think that would be pretty cool. But like you said, like Omarosa, like she could, because she's like kind of so high on herself. Like she, just the way she, I love the way that she just like does that slow walk to the chair to sit down and like stares out to the camera. I think that's like perfect.
Powerful.
Yeah, so that could be her downfall if she gets like too into like her plan and like she thinks she's in control, and that's what you said. Like maybe Tanisha could get a little crew together and knock her off. But
Or Tiffany.
I don't think a big name. I don't think that she will win. I think it might be somebody like Tanisha. I think will win.
Or Anfisa. But I don't know. I think
Yeah.
Omarosa could win, or Johnny. One of those people.
Yeah.
I picked Johnny Fairplay in our preview, so
Okay.
I would love for that to happen. But like I said, it's just going to be very interesting. It's going to be
Mhm.
and I think a lot of this comes down to just like when you watch even like a show like The Surreal Life. I think like a couple people might just leave at some point. Like eventually, like they all have their phones. They're all eventually just might be like, you know what? Like I don't want to be
Mhm.
at this house anymore. Like I could see that coming into play as well. Just the attrition of having to like share a room for more than a few days will start to get to these people more than having to like play a game.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
yeah.
can't predict the fights. Like if there's a big fight and like people have to pick sides and like somebody says something that's actually like, pretty bad, you don't know what ripples that's going to be in the house either.
Yeah, I want to see a lot of drama between the cast members because they know how to do it. I want to see some iconic fights, and I would like to see a final three and a jury, and they could all pitch their case, and then the jury could vote anonymously, and then Joe McHale can
That'd be
read it just like Survivor. Like that's how I hope that it ends. As far as season 2 of House of Villains, I'm not sure if they got renewed yet, but who are 3 potential reality stars you would cast on season 2? And if you need a second to think, I can put mine first.
Yeah, go for it. I think we kind of did this offline once, but I want to hear yours.
Okay, so for my season 2, just 3. There's so many. I want to see Russell Hantz from Survivor. I
Love
want to
it.
see Christine Quinn from Selling Sunset. And I
Yes,
want to see Rachel Raquel Levis from Vanderpump Rules.
that might be a tough one.
Trops Mike.
That might be a tough one. I think you
I
could
love
get.
Russell Hantz. I
I
like
think you could
that one a lot.
easily get Sandoval though. I mean, he'll go on
I don't want to
anything.
see him on TV
I'm
again.
just saying that you're more likely to get like a Sandoval, maybe like I don't know if you consider him a villain, but maybe like Big Ed from 90 Day Fiance, like he would be good.
Ooh.
I know you I know you're a Kardashian guy. What if you got like Black China on?
Oh no, 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 no,
You
no.
know, any house. I mean, there's a million housewives you can name, right? I mean,
Well,
shoot. I
Danielle
would love.
Staub, she's going to be on next week to host a challenge, it looks like. And
Oh
Abby
my
Lee
God,
Miller
there's
comes
so
on
many.
to host a challenge too this season. So it's going to be
Abby
good.
Lee Miller, I like. I thought like, what if you got like a Lisa Rinna would be
Yes,
funny.
yes,
I feel
yes,
like she would
yes.
do well on this show.
Yeah.
Um, oh God, maybe some people
I'm
like
totally
real world,
blanking.
some real world people. What if we got like a throw like Richard Hatch? We said Survivor would be
True.
good.
Okay. See,
Why?
I've been sitting on this list. I've been sitting on it because I want to see a
Yeah,
few of
I
these
really
seasons.
I'm very bad at thinking of things on the spot like this, but I love the Russell Hantz one. He's
Okay.
awesome.
Spencer and Heidi were gonna be good, right? But we know Spencer's coming on
Yeah.
as a guest.
He'll be on as a guest. Yeah. So I think they'll do another season though. Because I think
Definitely.
everyone's watching this. I think it's really popular.
Oh no, this is a
So
great
fun to
show.
watch. It's so
I'm
So
fun.
many
I'm into the
demographics.
I'm into crossover shows. Did you guys like Traders season 1 too?
Yeah, we thought it was great.
Loved Traders. Our only complaint about Traders was we wish it was a week to week
Yeah.
show so you could have more discussion about it because so much happens and there's such good gameplay. But they just
True.
drop these big blocks and then we do these reviews and we end up just kind of clumping them together. And I feel like you miss stuff. Like I want to be able to have like a water cooler talk like every week with you and think, oh, who's going to vote for who's going to do that. And they just kind of blow the whole
even if they
surprise.
did like Love Is Blind style, like they did a full drop of that show, but even if they did like three episode chunks of 3 or something, that would be preferred too, because then we can like you said, I want to speculate like who's gonna win.
No, I agree.
Aren't
I think that's a great idea, and I do think that Peacock could listen if they hear enough people say that. So we're just
Yeah, we're in
joining the
for it.
cause. We're joining the
Putting it
cause
out there. Come on,
because I
guys.
think like
We
3
love
to
it.
4 episodes is good for a season. So I'm really into that. Do you guys watch Dancing with the Stars?
My mom does, and she'll call me about it. My mom owns a dance studio, and so
Okay.
she calls. So I have kept up with Ariana. Basically, I haven't watched all the dances, but I have seen all of Ariana's dances. So she is doing really well. She is really throwing herself into it, and I think the
Yeah.
public swell for her is great. Who do you have winning?
Ariana has a good chance. Also, Jason Mraz.
Yeah, that's almost unfair.
And
Oh, who's on there?
I'm rooting for Lily Pons has a chance, but I'm rooting for Harry Jowsey and Riley Arnold because they're just like a really fun couple to watch, and like they're young and they're good at social media trends. But tell me what's going on in Survivor because I haven't watched. Is this season good?
There's a lot of quitters.
Yes, I saw that Jeff Probst was upset about that.
I think I don't think he didn't handle it the way he used to. You said you liked Old Survivor, right?
Yeah, I stopped watching season 30 because I just couldn't really do it anymore.
Okay. So remember in the old days, like when somebody quit, he would be pretty pissed. And I think he's been pretty lax with the quitters this season.
How many people quit?
2.
Well, sort of
Week
3.
4. Week 4.
But like literally went to tribal council and said, vote for me. Even this past week, the guy literally got brought into an alliance and was set up and in good shape and was going to be able to ride it out for a little bit. And literally at tribal just changed his mind. It's just tough because frankly, I think the season itself, the gameplay has been good. It's actually a pretty good Survivor season. There's been a classically bad tribe. There has been like some really kind of good alliance stuff. There has been some new twists that aren't overly complicated compared to some of the last few seasons. But then, like Brian said, if 2 out of the last 4 weeks, and they're 90-minute episodes, remember now. So we're going through 90 minutes just to have somebody quit in the last minute of an episode where there's been a 90 minutes of buildup and strategizing. It's deflating. And so unfortunately, it kind of stinks right now.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm a big Survivor guy, and I am not a big fan of like 41 on. I just think that they did a lot of like I know like you said like hey so Jeff doesn't need to leave Fiji. I think he needs to leave Fiji because I think it just gets too stale being at the same spot. They're the exact same things. They're going to the exact same camps. I don't love 3 tribes. I think 2 tribes is better because like like I want to see like some mini alliances inside of a bigger tribe, and like I feel like who's going home each week. In the old days, they're like, oh, like people get 3 votes, people get 4 votes. Like it just it hurts my soul because I didn't want to say I wasted a lot of time, but I watched all of it from 1 to 40 within like a couple months, like nonstop to get ready for the new season. And it's just disappointing. And I love guys like Russell Hantz. Like he plays the game, like he's looking for idols, and now there's too many idols. And it's just I miss the old days of people playing the game.
They need to just completely revamp it, or maybe make like that's why I love when there's other vote out shows on that come like Traders and stuff in the Circle, because I really love strategy shows like that, but Survivor has just gotten so lame. So maybe they'll revamp it eventually, and they'll have to get a new host that's like, no offense, Jeff, we love you, but like, and just kind of like do it like OG days. Those first 20 seasons were
so good.
So good. Oh my god, just like the best show
it's like
ever.
A documentary, dude. They have more lighting now than like a studio show, right? They said that there's like 1,000 staff members on the island, and it's like for what? Like, what are you getting out of that? I've been saying this forever. I want them to do a cold weather season of Survivor. Doesn't have to be like Sub-Zero, but go where they got to wear like winter coats and there's some snow on the ground, and like you can do entire themings. Like you said, they used to go to Africa, Fiji. Like the location was a character.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
It is not a character anymore. They literally had a guy this week. They had a guy on this season that actually was on last season, but he had like a medical emergency the first week, so they brought him back to get his own chance to do it. And when they did the merge this week, he was like, "Oh, this is the exact same beach where I stayed last summer and had my like medical." They don't even recycle they don't even put you in different spots on the island. They reuse the same 3 beaches now. Like that's just lazy, man. You know, come on. They got hundreds of millions now, like from this show, and they reuse beaches.
Well, what's your favorite season of all time, or like top few?
Man,
I mean, I love I don't know off the bat, but like
numbers.
I love the ones with Russell Hantz. I
Okay,
know
season 19, season Heroes versus Villains. I mean, like
I like the
I
heroes
like all of
villains
them.
when they first did like Exile Island, right? When really those seasons when they first introduced some of the things we knew, even early, like season 2 is a great season.
yeah, the Africa season's good.
You know, there's
That's
some really
Australia.
good
That
early
one.
seasons.
Yeah. I mean, I liked like Panama season 12, like Cook
Yeah,
Islands season
Cook
16,
Island, great season.
Micronesia, fans versus favorites, like Blood
yeah,
versus Water. Like,
they're great.
I
They're
want to
great, and
go
it's
on
just
Survivor,
Oh, dude, you'd be great for
but I would,
Survivor. I
but I
feel
would
like they need
quit.
like,
I'd be so
you know why
hungry.
though? Just go on and tell them like when you're interviewing, like I want to go on Survivor to actually win Survivor. I don't want to go on Survivor to tell them how much of a great journey it's been and to
yeah.
get like a
Mhm.
5-minute retrospective about me. It's feeling that's the only reason people go on anymore. I want to win. You're like, I'm gonna go on and I'm gonna lie to people and I'm going to do
Mhm.
whatever I need to do to win. And like if someone just said that, I would like stand up and just clap. Like someone maybe is on a game show to win. And no one seems like it. And I think
Yeah.
that's the spirit behind Survivor. People want to call it like woke Survivor and all.
Mhm.
I think that's like a lazy term. And I do think in ways it's kind of a little offensive. Like you can have a variety of people and have people with a little bit of a message or a mission in life that's cool. But I want everyone's common one denominator why they're on Survivors to win Survivor. And that's just, we lost that a while. Probably
Yeah.
season 41, we've lost that.
Yeah, whenever that late
Gotcha.
who is it, Lynn Spielman is the casting director. Ever since she left, this show has been like,
See,
in
that's what
my
happened
opinion,
with The Bachelor too. Like a lot of like the
yeah,
main producers left, Chris Harrison, the host left. Like it truly does change the formula of the show, and those main people left. And one of the reasons Jersey Shore is doing so good right now, I think, is because Sally Ann, she's the like
Sally Ann.
producer. Yeah, like she's still around and she's still making good TV. And she's still like, it's still so good. Okay, I'm gonna watch Jersey Shore after this, but why don't you give me a little bit of a tease? Because I know you watched it and Ron came back. So Ron and Sam just
they come
didn't
back.
cross paths, right? Because Sam went out with her boyfriend. That's what happened.
Yeah, so her boyfriend was leaving that day. It's like I think later in the afternoon. Mike comes in and he's like, at the classic, we have a situation.
Yeah.
And he tells Sam like, hey, maybe you should like go hang out with your boyfriend before she leaves for the day. Ron comes up, they do what we like to call a Jersey Shore edit, where we're about to see a major moment and they leave you on the line. And but we actually got a little bit. Ron talked a little bit. I'm not going to spoil anything he says, but I thought he appeared to be very genuine.
I saw a clip.
And we cut the next week. They always tease you now with the DVR because they bunch in All-Star Shore at the end. I was like, oh man, another 2-hour episode. Like we're really going to see Ron today, and then it's just like, nope, All-Star Shore. And then
All-Star Shore.
fast forward to that.
Do you guys
Now
watch All
watching
Star
that.
Shore?
I watched the first season and it just wasn't. It's definitely different now, but it's just I watch so much TV. It's not.
Yeah. The first season was
It just
good. I
doesn't make
thought
it.
I liked the
Yeah,
first
it was
season,
fine.
but the second
Yeah,
one, I don't know.
it's just now they have like people from F Boy Island. They're pulling like Too Hot to Handle, like Chases on there, and it's just like it's not.
Any
I
show
felt
with
like the first
sand.
season was really truly like, yeah, you had Gordy Shore, you had like these shores from the other
Mhm.
countries, like it was actually people from like some sort of shore, and now they're kind of stretching a little bit. So
For sure. Yeah. Well, I can talk to you guys all day, so we'll have to do this again. But
Oh,
make
for sure,
sure
brother.
to check out their channel, The Reality Guys. I'll leave their link down below. We did a Bachelor in Paradise recap, so make sure to check out that video. And where else do they need to follow you guys and check you out?
TikTok, at the Reality Guys, Twitter, the Reality Guys, and Instagram at the Reality Guys. So we're pretty easy to find there, just like you.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you guys for joining, and we will see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Thanks, bud.
yeah.